Oh, cute. It does have a Zack ultimate weapon, so we'll check that out too. As always, first we look at the aesthetics. He's got a Butler look going on, and he has a bunny tail. 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 You know, the outfit itself, oh, he's got ears too. I missed that. Look at the little ears. And a monocle? I like the little tie here. That's cute. The outfit actually looks pretty solid. They should sell this apron with a little insignia at the bottom, dude. I'd buy this. We'll find out. Sword looks cool, man. By the way, the sword looks rad. I love the way this sword looks, like, a lot. I think this looks really cool. That's a sweet design. Yeah, not bad. I don't mind this outfit. I don't mind this outfit. Sword of the Hunt. Oh. Uh-oh. Hey, that's really good. Okay, so right off the rip, this is a featured weapon, which means this is not limited, right? Which means this is gonna be added to the pool. This adds exploit weakness. This is the first instance of exploit weakness that is not a limited weapon. First off, let me rip the band-aid off right off the rip. 800 magic ice, so 800 magic elemental damage in an area of effect. I think that's the highest in the game for AoE effect, for an AoE damage. Being able to get exploit weakness at a 35% buff is a huge damage increase for most characters. This does include Zack, but unfortunately there's a caveat. Right now specifically, if you're pulling today, if you did not get either his half anniversary fire banner or his limited Final Fantasy IX wind weapon, I think those are the only two weapons that he has that deal a big amount of elemental damage. And that's the issue, because exploit weakness only helps you. It only gives you 35% bonus damage when you're hitting for a super effective attack. And Zack doesn't really hit for super effective damage. At least not good super effective damage, right? Now, he does have Pressure Ridge, which then pairs pretty well with this weapon because it also is an area of effect magic attack or ice attack that gives him exploit weakness, which makes his ice damage do more damage. So that makes his 620% Pressure Ridge do a significant amount more damage, right? Which is nice. So it's good for that at least. But if you didn't pull on those other two limited banners, that's really the only spot that you're going to get value from exploit weakness right now. And again, I'm just saying that right now. Exploit weakness going forward is great. This is a great weapon and probably one of the best featured weapons in the pool. The only issue is that these R abilities are a little awkward. Not getting elemental potency is a little weird on an elemental weapon that has exploit weakness. And these are typically considered to be like extra R abilities. The good part for Zack is that he has a lot of weapons that give him like plus 62 physical attack, plus, you know, really high stats because he's meant to fight by himself. So of all the characters in the game that could utilize these two, he's probably one of them. And it's good for this because if you're using this exploit weakness weapon as an offhand weapon, this allows you to use it for physical or magic builds, which I think is what the goal is. So it's not bad, it's just not great, right? It is good, these are fine, but it's just not great in terms of like efficient stats, right? Materia boost slots are fine, sigil boost here, magic boost here is fine. Magic attack stats pretty high. This is a great weapon. This is a great weapon. Yeah, no complaints at all. Like I said, most of my notes on this are nitpicks, right? The only real issue is you're not gonna get your biggest bang for your buck right now pulling on this today if you didn't pull on those limited banners for Zack before. I forgot the Monster Hunter one too, sorry. He has that Monster Hunter lightning one, but that's my point, right? His three strongest elemental weapons are a lightning weapon that's 940%, a fire weapon that's 850 times 1.2 if I recall correctly, and a wind weapon that also has a big boost if I recall correctly at OB10. And all three of those weapons were limited. Like every single one of them. The Monster Hunter banner, the Final Fantasy IX banner, and the half anniversary banner from last year. The good news is that this is a featured weapon, which means after a month, this is going to be in the pool of weapons for Zack to pull from, which is wild because the power of this weapon going forward is going to be massive. So this is easily one of Zack's best weapons in the game and one of the best featured weapons in the game, like bar none. It's just not a weapon you would pull for right now, right? Which is good news. There are better banners out right now, guaranteed. No disrespect to the Rabbit Butler here. So boost HP 10 is nothing crazy. This is actually pretty weak, if I'm being honest. A lot of the outfits are being updated to 15 for a reason. So boost HP 10 is kind of whatever. Okay, well, this is really good, but this is really good. Oh man, that's what a bummer, dude. So assuming that we're going to get a gear voucher ticket for anniversary in September. Say hello to the target. This will be the one that you're picking, almost certainly. Yeah, this is probably the one that you're going to be picking with that gear voucher because 30% to all elements is really, really strong, especially on Zack. Because if you did pull on Beatrix's sword, you didn't get an outfit for that wind damage weapon, and now this is his best wind outfit, which is great. He currently doesn't have a water weapon, but he does have a water debuffing weapon. So he's got a water materia slot on that Black Whiskers weapon, so he can still do that. The only thing he really can't do right now is Earth, which I imagine they'll correct over the course of the next 6 months. But yeah, no, getting an all element 30% is definitely a bummer after the half anniversary. That's a really, really good effect on a pretty decent, like, in terms of the aesthetics. The outfit actually looks pretty cool. I like the outfit, at least. I think it looks sharp. Obviously it's novel, but like it's the season. It is what it is. The only thing that I'm not too thrilled about is the boost HP, but that's not useless, right? It's still usable. But my point still stands. I'm still not a huge fan of boost HP or weapon abilities on our abilities. I have mentioned in the past, and I'll stick by that boost HP of the ones available is one of the better ones. It's not one of the best, but it is one of the better ones because boost HP can go up to 100 points. So you've got quite a ways before you're actually getting to the capped out limit here. So getting an extra 10 points isn't going to kill you. But yeah, certainly would like this to be a more defensive option, like meaning defensive stats versus HP. Anyway, great outfit. In terms of the aesthetics, great outfit with this ability. I would just mark this off in your brain as like I'm gonna get this when we get our when we likely get a second anniversary voucher in September, and just skip this one. I don't think that the weapon is something that you need right now. Much like the other exploit weakness weapons, you're not going to get the full effect until you get it to OB6. So that requires a lot of investment. The good news is that this is a featured weapon. So after a month or so, it'll get put into the pool of weapons. So just stockpile your tickets for a chance to get it. And for the folks that are savvy and getting the twice a week weapon parts quest done for your daily quest in the solo quest, you can start getting weapon parts for this right now because it's a featured weapon. And since it's in the pool of weapons now, you can start farming weapon parts for this immediately, which is nice. So yeah, this is a great featured weapon to get out of the pool. I think this is an excellent weapon for Zack. It's something that he will absolutely be able to utilize. And if you do have all of those weapons, his Monster Hunter weapon, his Final Fantasy IX weapon, his half anniversary weapon at high overboost levels, this weapon is going to enable Zack to do damage that only Tifa, Sephiroth, and Yuffie can really reach right now. So this does enable Zack to push him to a level that other characters can't reach right now, which is nice. So congratulations to the Zack fans. I imagine they're going to be giving exploit weakness to most of the DPSs in the game. So I imagine we'll probably see Cloud, Vincent, etc. get their own version of exploit weakness. But to have one be featured instead of limited is a big win. So like I said, the only real like quote unquote downsides are that the R abilities are more like sub R abilities. But again, that makes this weapon good for physical and magic builds, which is nice. In terms of the wish list, like I mentioned before, a lot of Zack's elemental weapons are unfortunately limited weapons. So the only real thing that you could pull for here that is something that would pair well with his elemental weapons is the pressure ridge. Does 620% physical ice damage with the 35% bonus is going to make this do a pretty decent chunk, while also decreasing the enemy's ice resistance, giving you a full boost 62 physical attack, which is the level 5 break, and 39 points of ice potency, which is great, right? Absolutely great. Also comes with an next sigil boost, so you can wear this in the main hand easily. And then you also have a pretty strong magic ice weapon in your offhand that will also deal some decent damage while giving yourself that exploit weakness, which is also very good. So that's what I would put on here first. In terms of his other options, if you do have his magic items or his magic setup, you want to look at getting the crystal sword, because this gives boost attack and boost fire potency. This isn't necessarily something that he would wield in his offhand anymore. This is something that he would probably put as a sub weapon. Obviously with the boost attack, you already have boost attack in your offhand, so it's not a great option, but it is there. And if you do need an AoE fire attack to go with that fire sword that Zack has, this is still a good option. In terms of the other options, Falchion is the wind damage weapon that pairs well with his Final Fantasy IX outfit or Final Fantasy IX item. This is a very good wind potency with physical attack. This will max out the rest of his physical attack. The only reason I'm not a huge fan of this one is because of the lower physical attack stat. There are other options in wind, especially as sub weapons, not offhand weapons for Zack obviously, but as sub weapons for wind potency. There are better options out there for physical attack, including Yuffie's Diner Tray, which does the exact same physical attack and wind potency, but with 50 extra points of physical attack. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's almost a 10% increase in physical attack, so it does matter. Obviously, Sephiroth also has some options for physical and wind potency as well. You could look at the Shinra Military Sword, which does 679 with a 31 and 52 boost to physical attack and wind potency. Dark Heavens also does a 46-39 boost with 624, slightly lower than Diner Tray, but still higher than Falchion. All of those are really nice options. It's really up to you for your preference at that point. Those are really his two elemental options. Like I said, you could look at Black Whiskers as well, just because it lowers water resist, has a water materia slot. This is an option, right? It's an option. I don't think you really need to get this weapon. I will say that it is one of the only weapons in the game that actually gets a potency potency decrease when it gets to OB10. So if you don't currently have this at OB10, you're not getting the high water resist down until you do. So worth noting, if you don't have Black Whiskers at OB10, it is more useful at OB10 than it is at OB anything else. Other than that, in terms of the Zack weapons, that's pretty much it. Depending on which ones you're building for, you want to put some support items on here as well. If you're looking to supplement his physical build, you should probably look into Angeal specifically as a supporting role, because Angeal has the Stalwart Integrity, which is the better of the physical attack, physical defense options. Also, Angeal has a very, very strong kit that'll allow you to get damage focused into Angeal while also buffing your team and keeping himself healthy. So that's an option as well. You can also look at Blade of Ruin, which would actually pair very nicely with the ice weapon, because this also takes the attention away with Provoke while dealing 940% physical ice damage, which is excellent. So that really leans into the ice damage side of things. If you're trying to lead into the ice damage side of things, I would recommend Sid's Scimitar. Also increases physical attack, does magic attack as well, but the big kicker here is the ice damage increase, which is great. Has really good R ability as well, so I would absolutely include this on here. If you're looking for a debuffing weapon to take ice resist down that isn't Pressure Ridge, I'll always recommend on ice and lightning banners going forward, Matt's Nautilus Spiral. This weapon is very strong. Does ice resist and lightning resist down high with a Diamond Sigil Break, 3 ATB, great R abilities, and great materia slots. This is an excellent weapon and one that you should absolutely be looking towards, especially if you're looking to help supplement and support the Lightning Zack from the Monster Hunter banner. That's an excellent support weapon to throw onto your wish list for sure. And then I kept the Brilliant Collar on here as well. This one does a wind damage increase, which is still pretty good. Obviously, the magic attack is not as great for wind Zack specifically, but it's still nice to have a wind damage upgrade. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The wish list is pretty flexible and usually is for featured banners. Take a look at the stamp card. It looks like they added both of them on here. Okay. So they have Cait, Sith, and Lucia's previous outfits on here. I'll discuss them really quickly. I will tell you that the same thing I told you back in the day when these first initially came out. The Gothic Bunny outfit is just okay. It doesn't increase Lucia's damage enough to justify pulling for the Lucia one specifically. The Cait Sith one can be good if you build around crit, but his crit, while higher, there's no real good way to increase the crit potency in this game, or the crit chance in this game. Though, so all that does is increase the potency of his crits. It makes his crits hit a little harder, which is neat, but that's pretty much all it is. It's just neat. So I wouldn't worry too much about either of those outfits. They're both pretty outdated. It's nice that they got updated. They got bonuses. So if you had them already, they went from buff debuff extension 10 to 15, which gave them now a level 3 break, which is nice to have that level 3 break. But other than that, I wouldn't bother with it. Don't waste your crystals on that. And honestly, this is a pretty easy skip. Although this is a skip with this is a cool thing to add, right? Absolutely not any shade on the outfit or the weapon, but a pretty easy skip because it's like there's just better options right now. And then in terms of his ultimate weapon, the Durandal. Ray Blade. This has 3 uses. Does 2,000 damage. Lakota, welcome in. Gives +3 ATB, which is great. Physical attack +3, magic attack +3. So this is great for either of his builds. That's good. Comes with ability potency as well, which is good. It boosts both, which is nice. Interruption, exploit weakness. Ha! That's really good. Damn, that's a good one. So when you interrupt the enemy, which is basically when you break its sigil break phase, when you interrupt it like that, and you go into the interruption phase, it applies the exploit weakness effect onto Zack for 30 seconds, and it's a 40% potency, which notably is higher than the new weapon they just added into the game. Now, granted, this is only good if you have this ultimate weapon 1 and 2 against enemies that actually have a sigil break phase. So that's, food for thought, but still pretty good. Still pretty good. Not mad at that at all. That's a really cool effect. That's a really cool effect. And the best part about this is extendable. So if it's extendable, that means you can use your other exploit weakness effect to increase the duration by 30 seconds to keep the extra potency, which is dope. That means you only need 1 copy. If you have this one, like this ultimate weapon, you only need 1 copy of the new weapon to increase the duration of this on the sigil break phases specifically, which is dope. Yeah, me too. And I actually like the look of this one as well, even though it kind of looks like a nail file. I won't lie to you. I wish I wouldn't have said that out loud. It does give nail file, doesn't it? Like, sorry. My bad. But yeah, so that pretty much covers the banner. That was pretty easy. This banner is only out for a couple of weeks as well, so this is definitely not an easy. This is an easy skip for me.